In our last video, we were in Watson Lake, Yukon. In this video, we're leaving Watson Lake and heading to Whitehorse. Come along with us as we enjoy the beauty of the Yukon on our way to Alaska. The milepost told us that there was waterfalls here at Rancheria Falls, so it said that it's about a 10-minute hike, and the dogs have been longing to go out. We've just basically stopped and let them out this whole time, really haven't explored, so we're going to take the dogs for a little hike.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do this last year.
Yeah, I could not have done this. I would have had to take the mobility scooter, and I don't know if these trails are scooter friendly.
We'll see, but I highly doubt it. Let's go check out the falls, guys. Come on.
Rancheria Falls. Welcome to Rancheria Falls Recreation Site. The trail to the falls is 500 meters, 1/3 mile, one way, and is designed for the physically challenged. For your own safety, please remain within the railings and designated viewpoints. There's a walkway, boardwalk, portage trail, and viewpoints.
Bonus, guys, we found a second set of falls right here off of this nice walkway. This was a super easy path, maybe I would say 5-minute hike down here. The first fall that we came to was over there that you've already seen, and this was the second fall right here. They built a pretty sweet platform that we're standing on to look out over the water here, and we actually saw some fish in the water right down there, so that's kind of cool also. This was a super easy hike, and I would say pretty much anybody could do it. Maybe not if you're in a wheelchair, you might have some trouble, but other than that, pretty nice, easy hike, non-strenuous, and you can make it back to see these two beautiful falls.
And the trail down the boardwalk is kind of narrow, so if you have dogs that aren't friendly with others, then I would recommend leaving them in your vehicle. But other than that, it's a great little hike. I recommend stopping at this little rest area. There are two pit toilets, and there is a beautiful view. This is just before the little town of Teslin, and there are a bunch of interpretive signs and, just like I said, an amazing view. We crossed through this area on our way to Alaska when we moved from Georgia in 2009. What a difference between the winter views and the early spring in the Yukon territories. So beautiful. We stopped here at this rest area because the milepost told us that this was a great stop for photos for this World War II era vehicles. This was part of the Canal, I think, C-A-N-O-L project. They built the road here and pipelines. And this was also a huge part of the African-American efforts during World War II, building the Alaska Highway. You can also see the beautiful mountain. I don't know the name of it, it doesn't say it here, but there are a bunch of interpretive signs so that you can read up on the history here. There used to also be a graveyard for a bunch of World War II vehicles, but that has been taken by people as they pass through.
We made it here to the Pioneer RV Park in Whitehorse, Yukon last night, y'all. As you can see our site behind us here, this RV park was pretty nice. It's right off of the highway. You can probably hear the highway noise a little bit as cars go by. It didn't really affect us at all as far as our sleeping goes. We're kind of used to it, and there's really not a whole lot of traffic up here. I mean, there is quite a bit. Whitehorse is a pretty big town, but nothing like super heavy traffic or anything like that. So the traffic definitely was not a problem. One thing I did notice, I guess for the last few days, my Starlink has been pointing south to southeast when we set it up in the evenings. Not sure what that's about. We'll have to get a little bit of research done on that, and it's working. It's just pointing the weird direction. Maybe it's because we're so far north. Like I said, I'll do some research on that, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's take a little site tour, guys, and check this place out. All right, we stayed here in Site 101, and I'm not sure what these things are or why they're there. I'm assuming there's some kind of just decoration so you don't actually run over the power or the water or anything, because all the water and power and dump are right here on this little concrete pad. So I think that's what those are for, but I'm not positive. Anyway, we had 30 amp power here and 20 amp power. There was no 50 amp. It is a full hookup site. And everything's, the only problem I have with the whole site is everything is right up front. So our hoses and our cable had to be stretched all the way out. We had maybe 2 or 3 more foot of cable, and that's it. We got plenty of water hose, but if I wanted to dump today, I would definitely have to hook up both of my dump hoses. So the dump on this specific site just seems to be in a little bit of an odd spot. Now across the road over here at the pull-through sites, that wouldn't be an issue at all. And also, if you look down there at that Bigfoot that's down there, he's on a site that would be like right here, our 100 site. If we were in 100 instead of 101, we could have pulled in and then had all of our hookups a lot closer to where their hookups actually are on the site, if that makes sense. But the site, as you can see, is gravel. It is plenty level. We backed right in and it gave us levels on the truck, no problems whatsoever. We didn't have any issues with the water or the power. And it was a pretty quiet park, guys. No major concerns here at all. They do have a laundry facility, and they also have something that I haven't seen before, a few pumps at the entrance to the park. They give you $3 off per, or sorry, 3 cents off per liter of fuel and of propane. So we're going to take advantage of that because their price already is about equal to what we saw in town yesterday. So if we can get an extra 3 cents off, you might as well do it. Since there's about, I think it's 3.8 liters in a gallon. So you're looking at almost 12 cents off for a gallon of diesel fuel. There it is, guys. That was our site here at Pioneer RV Park in Whitehorse, Yukon, Canada.
Well, unlike Watson Lake, I've got some very bad memories of Whitehorse for another reason, not for the mean people. We really didn't have much encounters with the people here. It was for some very bad news I got here on our last trip to town. We had gotten here into Whitehorse in 2009, and we hadn't had cell signal for a few days, and we got to our hotel, put our phones on to charge, went down to eat, came up to the room, and my phone was full of voicemails. I listened to the voicemails and immediately went into panic. Our oldest daughter, Tiffany, had been in a very serious car accident, and everybody had been calling and leaving voicemails and yelling into the phone, "Call us, please call us. Tiffany's hurt and in the hospital." And we couldn't do anything. There is a teeny tiny airport here, but we had the U-Haul full. We had to keep going and at least get to Fairbanks so I could get on a plane if I needed to, and it was just a miserable time. Thankfully, she's okay. I didn't end up having to fly back to the U.S., but that was rough. So as soon as we crossed into Canada here, I don't know if I've mentioned, we went to a Walmart and got a Canadian SIM for cell signal. Also, this trip to Whitehorse is much better, less eventful, but trying to eat downtown is difficult, or trying to eat in Whitehorse is difficult. Most of the restaurants are downtown. It was a Friday night last night, and every place was packed. So trying to park, even this truck downtown, the parking was all full. So plan for that if you're coming in, especially to eat on a weekend on a busy season.
Yeah, for sure. It was just busy down there, I think, because it was the weekend. We did find parking at a place we wanted to go into, but then there was a wait, and we don't normally do that, so we decided not to, and so we ended up going out of town a little ways and had a barbecue place that was really pretty good. Yeah. Smokin' Sow.
Yeah, it's in a gas station.
Yeah, it's in the gas, it's in it, attached to, not in, it's attached to a gas station. So, but take that for what you will, guys. It was really pretty decent. I haven't had barbecue in a while. I've been away from Texas for quite a while, or the South for quite a while, but still, that barbecue was pretty good.
Yes.
Well, that's where we're going to leave you on this one, guys, but you're going to want to come back next week for sure, because as you know, we're winging this whole thing. We don't have any reservations anywhere. We're just driving and stopping where and when we can, pretty much, and that's it. But we've made a decision. We're going to stay in Canada, but you're going to have to come back next week to find out why and where we're heading. Well, as always, guys, Semper Fi.
And God bless.
Hello, I'm Dee, Box Bandy on YouTube, and I'll see you next time on Jarhead and Ginger.
Who am I that the maker of heaven would love me and know me by name? In a world where I feel like a stranger, his love came and found me the same. In each breath that I breathe,